Hi there, everyone. Welcome to a video that I'm going to hopefully lovingly call books that have helped me. I mentioned in my author update that I have a bunch of books that have helped me. Ooh, that light is really yellow. I'm trying to find the best way to film this. I'll just go with this. But as I said in my update, I have a bunch of books that have kind of been helping me, or I've been trying to use to help me in one way, shape, or form. And the problem is that I've tried to have like one book that did everything. And it's kind of like that, like jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing. And I could never find something that actually helped with all of them. So I do have some things that have helped. One of the things I don't have with me right now is actually on my wall. I'm going to mention this now. Sarah Cannon over at Heart Breathings, she does this thing called the Kanban board. Basically what you do is you have a master list of tasks that you need to do over the course of whatever time that you want. She does it by 90-day increments. Me, I just made a bunch of tasks and I put them all up there. Then you also have a section called in progress, or things that you want to complete. And then obviously you have a completed section. I was skeptical about this, mostly because I'd only seen people do it for like 90-day increments. And I'm like, I just need something to help me break down everything I need to do. So I decided to just forego the whole idea of 90 days and just make the board. And I took the old calendar, wall calendar that I had from last year, which is just a big piece of cardboard. I put some sticker paper on it, and I will, on my Instagram, there's actually pictures of it. So if you want to follow me at j.a.giaquinto, I think I have author on the end of that, on Instagram. I'll leave it down in the description. But there is a picture of the Kanban board before I put everything on it. I will take a picture of it and I will post it of what it looks like right now. I do have actually a fair amount that I've completed, which feels really good because there's something very cathartic about taking off pieces of sticky note and moving them. So it's definitely helpful, but I will say that my in progress area is quite full. But I've done that specifically because that area is smaller than the tasks. So I can only put so many sticky notes in that area before it just becomes completely illegible. But I'm whittling away through it. There are certain things that I'm working on that I can't necessarily move into completed. But it's definitely been helpful. So I'm really finding that it helps because it makes me break down the smaller parts of everything I need to do. Now I just need to fix it up a little bit more, add more things to the task list because the tasks are actually starting to disappear quite quickly. The next thing that I have is something I'm still struggling with. One of the biggest problems that I have is my marketing. I have so much social anxiety when it comes to actually like reaching out to people to try and sell them my books, which probably is a big reason why a lot of my books aren't selling, but it's also probably because I've only written 3, and it's 3 books of a 7-book series. But one of the things that's probably not helping me is that outside of like the publishing month or the publishing weeks, I don't really talk about it much. I do talk about it over my videos, but I have such a small audience on here, it's like, meh. I do talk about it a little bit on Instagram, and I talk a little bit about it on Facebook, but nothing really too heavy, mostly because I'm just that kind of anxious person. But what I did was I bought this little 2-year planner. It's basically just a tiny little monthly planner. It goes from 2020 to 2021, And what I've done, let me take out my little bookmark. I got this cute little bookmark from Michaels, part of the Shine collection of stickers. But basically, what I did, let me show you. Okay. This was June. This was the month from hell. So basically, I marked out days that I would want to post something on Instagram and Facebook and have it consistent. But I don't know if you can see, everything that's in green are days when I actually did that. Everything in brown is days that I didn't. Not a whole lot. So the biggest problem is that I kept forgetting. So I've got to either figure out how to make this work for me or do something else with it. I don't know at this point. But I have July set up because of everything going on in the first 2 weeks of this month. I just said, screw this week. But I'm hoping that it does get better with this one, because I tried doing like automatic like posters or automatic schedulers, but the free trials didn't help me a whole lot. Oh shit, hit the camera. Didn't help me a whole lot, and I didn't want to pay for the full service because I don't know if it works for me. So I'm still trying. The next one I have, I actually got, before I show this, I do want to say I do understand the controversy with the founder of these products. I have them. I've purchased a whole bunch of their products. I'm speaking of Erin Condren from Erin Condren Planners. I have a planner for 2020, and I also have a planner for 2021. I have her markers. I have 2 notebooks. I have a bunch of things from them. And I've decided that I'm just going to use up products that I have. When they're out, and I will move on to greener pastures. If you would like to know what happened, I will link down an article of what happened with the CEO, Erin Condren. Or no, she's not CEO, she's founder. CEO is a different woman. But I've distanced myself from it, but because I still have the planners, and the planners are not cheap. They're like $70 a pop. And I don't want to waste $140 in planners and 30 some odd dollars in notebooks. And I don't know how much I paid for in markers. But I'm going to use them. So that's why I've covered over the name with an I love you sticker. But this is a perpetual calendar, basically used for keeping track of days that never change during the year, such as like Christmas or New Year's or Halloween. They always appear on the same day. Because I didn't want to use it like that, because that to me is kind of wasteful, I decided to make a productivity calendar for 2020. And I found out that I'm a little bit of a workaholic. I didn't realize how much I was actually working until I started doing this shit. I haven't filled it out for today, but you remember how in my author update I mentioned that May was supposed to be the month where I would actually do like outlining? This is May. See all those numbers? That's writing sprints. That was me actually drafting The Hunter and the Cultist when I should have been just outlining it. So this is where I realized my mistake. But yeah, right now we're in July and I'm still kind of doing that, but I'm also taking some days off so that I'm not gonna burn myself out. The next thing I have, I actually got from a Scribbler subscription box. And for a while there, I tried to use it like every other bullet journal, and it failed miserably. It actually was more successful than my original one, but it wasn't as successful. But I did find a use for it. I think this is Printpressions or something or other. It's just got a P on the back of it, with some leaves, but I don't know exactly what, oh, Piccadilly. That's what it is. It's Piccadilly, bullet journal. And like I said, I started using it as as an actual, like, bullet journal. Like, I put down, mine and my husband's, travel stuff. I put down stuff for Nano, and then I started using it for notes, which is when I realized that that was actually a thing. Like, these are the notes I took for my favorites of 2018 and 2019. So I did notes on holiday cookies and hot cocoa, to-do lists, more to-do lists, and then I found an actual purpose for it. Now, because I've started doing planners, I've kind of fallen down a little bit of the washi tape hole. I got asked by one of my good friends, Darche, how many do I actually have? Because I have this big carrying case of washi tape. And I'm like, I don't actually know. So what I did was I swatched out all the colors. So I have rainbow, silver, gold, white, black, brown, pink, purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red tapes of varying amounts. And overall, I found out I have 347 roughly washi tapes. Now, that is small compared to some washi collections I've seen. I don't go out and buy the Simply Gilded. I don't get any of the subscription boxes. They're purely from Michaels, Amazon, or Joann's. I will say the ones from Amazon are significantly cheaper, and some of them do come from Japan because, of course, a lot of really nice decorating, crafty stuff does come from Japan. And as I was doing my washi tape, I realized that I really like using this as kind of a swatching book. So, like, here's the last one that I did, which is red, which has some of the smaller ones. Orange is the one that has the least amount because I don't like the color orange. So then I decided, it's like, you know what? Every time I get something that needs swatching out, like crayons, colored pencils, markers, that kind of thing, I'll just do it in this book. And recently, I picked up a package of Prismacolor Premier colored pencils because I have really shitty Crayola ones that I've had since I was probably a little girl. And these are ones that I know for a fact my artist friends really like, is Prismacolor. So then, because of Planner Cindy, that's what I call her because I always have trouble with her last name. But I got hooked on these mild liners, which are basically like highlighters and markers together on one pen. And I basically just swatched them out so that I knew how they looked. And there's a couple of colors that I really like. They're very mild in the color, mild liners. It's basically like a highlighter. I haven't swatched out my 10-min brush pens, mostly because I don't know what colors are involved in that anymore. I don't know if they're written on it. I might have to find that out. And I've also gotten rid of a lot of them because they were dried out. So I mostly use those to mark in my planner, but they're really nice. They're really nice brush pens. I also have a whole stash of Erin Condren markers, which I actually swatched those inside my planner, and I'll show those because I wanted to keep a record of all the colors. Those ones were not actually marked, so I had to do some trial and error to figure out which colors were what. The other kind of rabbit hole that I've fallen down is stickers. I've always loved stickers, even when I was little. But, oh, did I fall down the really big rabbit hole? And the problem was with stickers, I would use a whole bunch on a page, but then I wouldn't use others. And I just had all these pages with like maybe 5 stickers on it, and then everything else is just white space, and that bugs me. So, after much trial and error, I created a sticker book. Basically, what I did was I had this old sketchbook that I have kind of Franken planned. It's actually 2 sketchbooks mixed together. But what I've done is I have taken sticker paper, like the non-adhesive side of the sticker paper, and I have put any leftover stickers onto these pages. And then with a little bit of double-sided tape, I have stuck them in the middle onto it so that I can still get at the stickers however I want. And this is an ongoing project. I've gotten through all of my Shine stickers from Michaels, and I had a whole bunch of them because they were like some of my favorites. I finished with those. I'm now working on the smaller, like Kawaii Cute brand. I only have a couple of those. And then I'll move on to Wonton and a Million, which is a one that's based off of like Japanese food. It's very cute. But this has been a nice side project to kind of work on, and it does kind of help bring my brain out of work for a little while so that I'm not constantly like work. So, this was my original bullet journal. Now, I had kind of given up on this for a while. And I actually found the use, as I mentioned in my author video, of doing task lists. So this is actually a page that I use sort of to differentiate the old stuff from the new stuff. And this is kind of a representation of me doing task lists. So then when I started doing those, I moved on to doing spreads of lists, much like in the other one. And so far, it's been working really well. The last one that I did was actually today. I did a full spread on making the summary for The Hunter and the Cultist, which, you can see this. Woo! I had my my beta Lux read it over, and they really liked it, so I was like, yay. The next one is not going to be any surprise to anyone, but it's my Erin Condren life planner. I actually had, this was the first thing I ever Franken built, because I'd seen a lot of people do Franken planning where they will uncoil these and then fix the pages into the way they want. And I thought, that's interesting. I didn't use January and February because I didn't have the planner then. So what I did was I uncoiled this, took the pages from the notebook, which is this one, and I uncoiled both of them, took the spreads from in there, put it into here, and then also took out January, February, March, April, and May, all 5 months, and put them into a box because they were getting very, very bulky because of stickers. Because, like, mind you, I'm just now starting to find my rhythm when it comes to stickers. But, like, when you get spreads like this, your planner gets very bulky very quickly. So, I only have June through December and then a very large section of notes in this one. And I've contemplated breaking down my one for 2021 so I can take out some stuff. But I don't know. I'm still debating on that one. But basically, this is the planner that I use to kind of build up my weeks, because it's a weekly planner. So here's representation. If you ever want to see me do a plan with me, I do them sporadically on Instagram Live. Again, I will leave that down in the description. But I do enjoy this. It's a little bit of a creative outlet I do every week. It does get a little overwhelming sometimes, kind of in the same vein as bullet journaling, but I do enjoy it, and it does help me kind of keep track of things if I don't keep track of it in any other way. With the Erin Condren notebook, I've mostly been using it for the paper because the paper is really nice. It's really thick. But I've been using it to track my writing sprints. Now, previously I had been using time, and honestly, I never have liked being timed for anything, even if it's self-imposed. So what I figured is that I will go based off of scene. So basically, I will set up myself to write one whole scene, usually in 1 to 2 sittings, and I have to do at minimum 1, if not 2. If I can get to 2, I'm doing great. If I get to 1 and it's a pretty high number, okay, I'll deal with that. But so far, this has been working out really well. I've also used these for notes for my other series, which is one that I have on here. It's for my sci-fi series I just recently came up with. I've also been using it for like keeping track of progress when it comes to reading books. This is sort of my way to try to get out of my freaking reading slump. So I'm hoping that it works. Don't know yet. And the last thing that has been really helping me, I mentioned, and I actually showed this in my author vlog, but it is my plotting notebook. And this is 100% made by me. I took 2 planners I got from Walmart, which are these very large print, very pretty floral planners. Just to kind of give you an idea, this is a monthly spread. This is a single month. And then here is a week. Very, very large. But it was on a stupid ring binding, if you aren't aware of that kind of thing. It's the one with the circle that kind of just goes back and forth and you clip them together. I hate those. Those annoy me. I have them on my sticker book, but I don't have a large enough coil to actually fix it. So what I did was I literally took a 5-subject spiral notebook, stole the coil, and I put together these 2 books. That was a pain in the butt, but I learned a lot from it. So that's why I have this nice cover on the front, and then I have an equally nice cover on the back. If you would like to get it, this is called the See It Bigger monthly and weekly planner. It is at Walmart. And basically what I have figured this for is I'm gonna be showing you some kind of sort of spoilery stuff. But I have a monthly timeline of my book. I'm still working to build this because I didn't take the month to actually do it properly because I'm a fuck up. But basically everything that happens in the story I plan to write down in the course of a month based off of what is said in the story. And I didn't realize how much stuff I actually had going on the second day. So it's like, have that, and then I have this. It's like, oh my god, there's so much stuff going on that second day. And then what I did was I took 2 pages, a 2-page spread for each character, and I built up their beat sheet using the Save the Cat method of building a story. So this is Gustav's page, and then this is Abel's page. Now, I color coordinated them based off of the colors that I use in my Campfire program for plotting. So that way I can keep track of who's who. And then I have two 2-page spreads for any kind of notes that I need to add, such as things that I already know I have to add from the beat sheets. I have a page for Gustav and a page for Abel, and then on the flip side, I have another page for Gustav and another page for Abel. So I have it sectioned off where every couple gets a timeline, a beat sheet each, and 4 pages of notes. And that is the entirety of what encompasses this book. And honestly, that has been probably the most revolutionary thing that I've created. I did play around with uncoiling and recoiling a whole bunch of other things, but so far that has been my pride and joy, because that has helped me so much so far. And I'm actually using it to get 2 characters from my superhero series plotted out so that I can start that soon. So those are all the books that have been kind of helping me out during this slump that I've had with my writing over the last month. And I think very much that I was able to get a lot of these at pretty cheap prices. The small one that I use for my content was probably maybe about $5 at Walmart, maybe less. The only really expensive ones were the Erin Condren stuff. Again, I don't plan to go back to her products after I finish these. If you want to find something that's actually comparable to the Erin Condren planners, there is the Recollections planners at Michael's. They are, I think, like $20 to $30 for a 12-month planner. Don't quote me on that because I haven't done the price comparison on it yet. But looks almost exactly like the Erin Condren. The only difference is that the paper is not as thick as Erin Condren's are, so some markers will bleed through. But yeah, this plotting one, both of them were probably about $8.50 a piece, and then the coil came from a $5 to $7 stash of paper. So I'm pretty thrifty when I'm looking for stuff. If you're interested more in kind of the supplies that I use, I do have coloring products, writing products that I've used, and then other miscellaneous stuff. If you're interested in seeing that, just leave a comment down below and I'll be happy to let you know. Alright, thank you very much for watching this, and I hope you'll all subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!